That's why I be on my own. My mama thought I was a joke, but Miss Badu told me I'm dope. Yeah, I'm dope. Yeah, I'm dope. Miss Badu told me and I know it, you can't tell me nothing else. That's why every beat I'm on is wonder, and I might go first. Got my partner, get your better, but that don't equal well. But you can't help all your partners unless you done help yourself. So I need more than kudos and a high five. Cause I went from sidelines to the limelight. And I shine bright, ice cold bars, Klondike. And I never move with the white, this ain't blindside, oh. Finite, but you feel the spirit, whole flow, shine light, so glow. Every lyric sing cold, so most popo. Favorite 9 light rondo on my glow when I pivot, oh. Most these sheep won't move like clown. That's why I be on my own. My mama thought I was a joke. But Dave Chappelle told me I'm dope. Yeah, I'm dope. Yeah, I'm dope. Dave Chappelle told me and I know it, you can't tell me nothing else. That's why every beat I'm on is wonder, and I might go close. Me and my dogs eat like you, but we be working July slaves. I done made it out of my hood, I deserve some like good. Cause I maneuver through the doodle like a bottle of Metamucil in a body that's used to being constipated. And most consumers, they view me as a ruler like Mansa-Musa. Cause I stay with some jewels, they can exonerate them from every ounce of troubled water they've been in. Spin in time and places it ain't safe to swim in. Without yelling, I try to tell them they should make amends. Where you from? Where I'm from, you see so much pain. What the kid do with me? Now they know my name. I done got it out the book and put on for my day one. That's why Miss Badu and Dave Chappelle show up. You don't play your love.
Yes. Welcome back to the RVA, the Revolutionary Agenda. I'm your host, Seduction Doll. As you notice, Chan Kruma's in here, manning the board for me, so I could do my thing. Had technical issues and highly distracted. A lot going on. You ever just felt like someone was like you having a Goldilocks moment? Somebody was sitting in my desk. All my shit's misplaced and moved around. And you probably did it, but you're just busy and you're not paying attention. You're just like, fuck man, I need this charger. Or why is this all of a sudden making these weird, obnoxious sounds? It's been bothering me all day. Yes, that has been going on. Don't look at me like that because I'm like, why is this over there? Fuck man, why won't you desk? Do your thing, maneuver right. You hear me? I've been going through it. They actually been very, 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 very sick. Very sick. Too sick. Unbelievably sick. But it's cause for you to look at things, you know. You just, hey man, a villain's time is a villain's time, damn it. Yeah. Been extremely sick. You wouldn't believe it, but the common cold in this person is like, whoa. Horrifying, okay? Horrifying. And I'm one of those people that fearlessly maneuver through life, like recklessly. It's almost people hate it. It's so like just minute by minute. It's the edge of your seat type of situation with the dog. I have to tell people, man, you better appreciate this shit while I'm here, because I'm worried. that means you get worried now. Normally, I'm the, man, it's gonna be all right. And they're not hearing it over here at this dollhouse. This dollhouse, like, let's make plans. Let's be serious. I'm tired of fucking with y'all. I'm ready to take me for granted. I've been telling you forever. well, well, here we are. Yes, I've been sick. Some would say pretty obnoxious. But not how do you say but when it's time, it's time. Nobody ever wants to hear that shit though. It's all fun and games till it's serious, right? In the common code, or there's a reason. There's a reason like, wow, avidly say don't get the shot. There was a reason. There's an avid reason. And the shot would be what prevents the go to the hospital. Yeah, real shit. Reasons. So it's in the hands of Allah now. All right. Let's talk about something great. I've been catching up on the news, catching up on all kinds of shit. And so, when it's on a seduction doll, Brandy Marie Majors time, we're going to talk about whatever the fuck I feel like talking about, because you can't just do it everywhere. And I have lots of things to talk about, especially in regards to that old, tired ass bullshit of white supremacy and injustice and all sorts of madness that plays along with it. And somebody likes to share things that I've learned, or that were truly impactful, or that we should delve deeper in. I'm going to do that today, because a lot of things were reactionary. And I don't see anything wrong with sharing some shit and reacting to it, especially when you're like utterly either impressed or disgusted. Like, one of those with me. So we're gonna start out with some good shit. Let's start out with Professor Black Truth. I just got clapped. Professor Black Truth. I am really digging these moments of truth. Okay. They've been putting out gems, absolutely 15, 30-minute sessions. And I really could go into listening to the commercial about power tools. Real shit. I could really go for that right about now, because it is heavy over here at the dollhouse. So let me get my shit together. Professor Black Truth. Here at the little portion of Colorado New Black Media, we are avid. Ignore this obnoxiousness. I think the computer's trying to tell me I need a new keyboard and obvious mouse. All of a sudden today, everything needs to be replaced. Coincidental? Odd. Especially when I want to do some serious shit. All right, we're not going to let this stop my function. So, Professor Black Truth. The little moments of truth are actual fucking great. They should start your morning off like, yes. Also, in my personal opinion, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Professor Black Truth and the Black Authority are like the fathers we all should have had. Okay? Real shit. Put you right back in the right frame of mind, especially when you've been fucking up and you just thought you were looking cool about some shit and you just were lost in the fog, okay? And just the right words that'll change a motherfucker's life forever. So I'm gonna play this, because this video had that impact, okay? For me. I'm gonna play this. This is a couple of days. I didn't really get on the internet, family, or the phone. I couldn't keep my eyes open. If you ask Mr. Chan Kruma, if he's still with us, he might tapped out behind the lokes. But if you ask him, I was falling asleep at the train station, and I was like, man, do I go home or do I carry on with the mission? Jay, are you still with us? Jesse. Okay, no, okay, fuck it, he's asleep. All right, I gave him the 2 minute briefer. Yeah, I had to ask. Now, as soon as I came back through the hood to the spot, I parked my shit, and it was a wrap for me. And it's been like that since. It's been real bad. So, and no, I know you like to think it was the coronavirus. Pretty sure that's what anybody would go along with. It's impossible to think that. It's just I can't be around cold air, cold elements. My heart can't take it. And the weather's been kind of weird. And so when it gets too cold, my heart could freeze and it could just stop altogether. So it's been kind of weird. And I've been just thinking I'm invincible all of a sudden. I don't know why. I just having this, I just go through these phases. Anyway, I got really sick. So I got behind on my podcast, what me and him call a podcast diet, like a personal thing. But it's because we're in depth in fighting white supremacy at all costs. Black first. And if you're not really dealing with white supremacy and trying to end it, you ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? This is a real live message. Real live message, because it's really happening. Everything is racist. Everything is racial. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. It's all bad. Once you wake up for real, wake up, and then people forget. Not just reprogram. You got a whole reset, then reprogram. And all of a sudden everything makes sense. You know? And that's what happens when you wake up. For real, wake up when you're supposed to wake up. Wake up in segments. I was waking up in segments. But I mean, I apologize. I was waking up in segments, and I had to reset and reprogram, re-educate. The resetting, though, was the important part, because you forget that step. You can't just wake up and get conscious and with it. The reset, the brainwashing. You know, that's how I would put it. Reset the brainwashing, the programming. Reset that shit to default and start fresh with what's actually supposed to be. What you're actually supposed to be hearing. You know, what you're actually supposed to. You know, what we're supposed to waking up for a reason at this time, right? That's I don't even know how to explain it better. Go with the vibe, family. Just go with the vibe. So we're gonna play this. Professor Black Truth. Catching up. This obnoxious ass sound though. We go right here. I'm gonna share it and watch it with you because it is just this. It was impactful. This is MO Moment of Truth. I think this was like on the 12th. What day are we on? 17th. Okay. I was really behind. I had to do a lot of catching up today. So believe me, I'm back in the game. Can't let this little cold take me out, right? Here we go.
Fears that you see us exhibiting as a group are not ones that we came about of our own accord. It's things that have been foisted upon us.
Thank you, Professor Black Truth, for bringing the knowledge.
Be careful who we listen to, especially when it comes to our power. Promoting our interest and preserving our heritage is our power. The enemy certainly knows that. That's why they've been attacking it. We are an oppressed people. That is not news, but too many of us seem to want to live in a land of denial and make-believe. We want to pretend as if that's not the circumstance that we're in. A lot of the behaviors that you see us exhibiting as a group are not ones that we came about of our own accord. It's things that have been foisted upon us. Too many times we've allowed the dominant society to assign to us what our identity is, as opposed to choosing and acting for ourselves. This is what goes along part and parcel with oppression. You're able to deny the oppressed group resources that they need. You're able to tamper with their internal politics and try to derange and derail their plans for themselves. And we see it most sharply expressed in the white media. This idea that all of these self-destructive behaviors that Black people as a group in this country engage in is just the way we are. No, in a large part, it is the way that we've been conditioned to be by outside forces who have used their massive economy for the sake of encouraging us to do things that are against our interests. And that brings us to these two individuals, Whitney Beatty and Ebony Anderson. Now,
wait. Did I forget to do that? Yeah, I know I did. Watch. My bad, family. I apologize real quick. This is important. I apologize. My fault. I have a lot of open windows and there's no excuse, really. I apologize. Here we go. Okay. And we're going to view it here. Go there real quick, those.
Whenever it comes to discussing things, particularly about marijuana, there's a big number of Black folks, even in spaces like this, who need to get their minds right. Now, perhaps you've heard of Miss Beatty and Anderson, at least the last 6 months or so. You were supposed to. The white media want to make sure that you did. Just dealing with Byron Allen's LGBT advocacy website, The Griot, for example, from their article, which reads more like a paid advertisement, they gushed that these two are starting a marijuana dispensary. And according to the article, they also prioritize shelf space to women-led and people of color cannabis brands. They set up shop near the heart of Black Los Angeles and make a space curated specifically for and by Black women, so they could prioritize shelf space for women-led and people of color brands.
1 second. I don't know if you all
That's
can see
very
it.
interesting and ominous. Whenever we see the white media or their black sock puppets bigging up.
1 second. I'm sorry, family. I apologize. Jesse. Jesse.
Yes.
Can they see the screen sharing? Because it's not showing up. Can you see it? Can they see it? There you go. Thank you. Okay, now you carry on what you're doing. Thank you. All right. I apologize. I apologize, family. Bear with me. Here we go.
Some people, some strangers, some interlopers who we never heard of. It ain't long at all before the whammy bammy comes in. We go from saying black to saying women-led. That's that feminist talk. That's the button they're pushing. And people of color. Oh, yes. We can't have an article go by without making sure that we mention everybody. As always, we see the same old pathetic pivot from Black to people of color and women. I'm sure the white women who work to have the police, zoning boards, health inspectors, and other governmental groups shut Black businesses down, I'm sure they will be only too happy to occupy, or should I say colonize, your shelf space. And as for people of color, you do realize that includes the exact same Korean businesses who routinely assault and beat up Black women who patronize their beauty shops. Today, practically all Black women get their beauty supplies from Asian-owned companies who buy absolutely nothing from Black people and who have been caught on video attacking Black people who patronize their stores. You cannot have it where the cash flow only goes in one direction and call that some sort of partnership or say that we're doing business. That's not business. But that is what's going on here. And the Griot wants you to see this as a W for Black people. Wait, I mean for Black women, because that was the entire crux of this article. In fact, it seems to be the crux of everything that these two are involved in. And I know there's always a few lurkers here who support these bootlicks and are always making excuses for them and trying to run interference for them. When I tell you that they're trying to bring in as many non-Black people into the mix as possible, they said it themselves. In an interview with the feminist rag.
Facts. I'm just going to say that right there off top. Facts.
Essence website back in June, when talking about their so-called partnership with the parent company, Whitney Beatty said, "This partnership is a game changer for us. Not only does it allow us to have the capital necessary to open up our store and build the Josephine and Billy's community, it also allows us to create opportunities for other Black and brown cannabis cultivators and manufacturers along the supply chain. Other Black and brown cannabis cultivate, blah, blah, blah." That's sprinkling sugar on crap. First of all, let's put aside how retarded it is to call someone who grows pot a manufacturer. That's like calling a cattle rancher a manufacturer of beef. But I digress.
Now, first of all, Felly, I was like, whoa. Because, man, until it starts to get real right here, I was like, man, I love smoking weed. I've been dealing in and around weed my entire fucking life. Probably since I was a little girl. And I like smoking weed. I mean, like, for real. There's some things I don't like about smoking weed, though. And I was like, man, it's about to get serious right here. And it really is. Game changer, for real. It caused me to change my. It was so impactful. I made it a resolution. I don't even make goals like that. I don't even think I had that kind of timeline. But that's how impactful this portion is. And it caused me really to dig deep and look into some issues, because we live in, Colorado, and in this last little midterm, mid fucking election, there were, I wish he was awake, but we went through this whole thing on Frontline Black News about the ballot and, the book in the ballot. And there was things they were trying to use the cannabis money, tax-paying money, and what they wanted. They had all these ideas of what they were going to put this money towards, this money that comes from all this cannabis. And they even have, here, and they're really trying to get Black people in politics interested in this. And there's been a lot of, I'm not even gonna say it, outwardly enticement going on. And we're gonna do this with the tax money, and we're gonna put it into the schools, and we're gonna put it into this. Oh my God, I wish I had that book. I wish he was awake, because I was all in it on Frontline Black News. So I was like, that goddamn, how many uses are you planning on doing with this overly taxed shit? You make motherfuckers don't ever want to fucking smoke weed again. This is expensive. It really messed me up that whole time. We're really reading the ballot that's going on in our city. That's one part. And then here, with my own people, wanting to explore ownership of their own dispensary, and the fuckery that goes on behind all of that. It was a lot. So when this came out and I caught on to it today, whatever happened or woke me up, I awakened to this for a reason. I felt like I needed to discuss it. So here we go. It got real for me. Life-changingly real. As it should. I think that was the whole message. Here we go. Play.
Considering how plentiful marijuana cultivation is in Mexico and their close proximity to California, does anyone think that the brown cultivators and manufacturers cannot flood these two eggheads with product? Secondly, can you name any Black cultivators or manufacturers of marijuana? These states do everything they can to deny Black business people a dispensary license. And if by incident you do happen to get one, then they do what they always do to every type of Black business. They send in the health inspectors or building inspectors, the fire marshals, the zoning board representatives, all with claims that you violated some city ordinance or other, and they got to shut you down. But for some strange reason, that seems to be an issue that Beatty and Anderson aren't having. Indeed, they're getting wall-to-wall coverage from these Black bootlick media types. Apparently, nobody seems to see them as a threat, and I have to wonder why.
Real shit happening in Denver. They had a whole workshop about this for Black entrepreneurs getting into the cannabis industry, and a whole workshop in regards to taxes and growing and herbiculture and everything you needed and ever wanted to know about cannabis if you're Black and wanting to own your own dispensary. Very real shit. And I was like, this is kind of targeted when it was happening, because, you look at it in this state, I'm like, yeah, that's a white thing. And I put these dispensaries out in a couple of white areas and sometimes in rundown areas. It's, you just got to piece it all together. It starts to make sense when you're looking at it from this angle, in Colorado.
When you see some Negroes who the white media or their black bootleg sock puppets are giving attention to, that's how you know they're on the take. So for this Beatty woman to use the word black to camouflage what they're doing is ridiculous. Always the gender warring with these clowns, but when you received every crumb of your daily bread from white supremacy, or in the case of Byron Allen, a white media suck-up, then you're going to talk like them and regurgitate their crap talking points because that's what you have to do to get your next crumb. Or to hopefully prove your bootleg credentials to whatever white media outlet you're desperately hoping to prove yourself to. These morons have created their own twisted, sick internal culture, where these asinine phrases are basically their entire vocabulary. It doesn't work in the real world, but that's the entire point. White supremacy's provided these clowns with make-work token jobs, where they've taken refuge from reality. White supremacy's given them their own little bubble. Or should I say, safe space. And you notice that this Whitney Beatty woman has the Bunny Ruckus blonde weave thing going. Also the oversized California eyeglasses, like it's the 1970s or something. You don't use eyeglasses like that to see things. You use them as a way to get noticed. But the only thing tackier than her fashion sense is her attempt to link marijuana to black icons and to get black people to think of this as our heritage and our culture. These potheads are calling their little hemp store Josephine and Billy's, after Josephine Baker and Billie Holiday. That, to me, is blasphemous. Trying to take their little pothead shop and this little devious plan that they've got to be driving wedges between black men.
This is serious blasphemy. I'm gonna go back to where he's talking about her look. I'm a weirdo and I really don't care what anybody thinks. Okay. I've been a weirdo for a long time. So I just do whatever makes me feel happy or amused. So I be having these lens-free spectacle moments and colored hair and shit. I don't give a fuck. Okay? I'm just being my usual self. I'm gonna say though this, someone who listened to albums growing up and listened to Billie Holiday and Nina Simone and a whole bunch of different types of albums, even throughout their life, and know a little something about a lot of things, I would say this is disrespectful for real. And it's almost sad. And it's really embarrassing. And we should I just couldn't fathom the next part. It is really upsetting because, some people, they don't really know, they don't really understand what he's about to express. But I didn't mean to say that. He's absolutely right though. It's like they're gonna get that pass of approval that, oh, you look good doing that, or that's a good look type shit. And sadly, he's right. Fuck how you feel about the way that person looks. This right here is fucked up. And I'm gonna let him explain.
Men and black women and undermining our community with this garbage and trying to wrap it up in the respectability of our icons. Billie Holiday was a victim of white supremacy. The animals who run this satanic prison calling itself a society, they tormented Billie Holiday her entire life until they eventually hounded her into an early grave. Billie Holiday had fallen heavy into substance abuse, and she didn't enjoy it. Opium, cocaine, marijuana, alcohol. You want to know why she did all that? Because of the white supremacy she had to endure every single day of her life. She was a perpetual target of the evil white supremacist government of this country. She didn't do all that drinking and smoking drugs because she wanted to. She didn't do it to feel good. She was doing it to dull the pain of being a black person in this white supremacist hellhole. And she died as a result of that. So no, you are not honoring Billie Holiday by naming your marijuana shop after her. This is what Byron Allen's Griot website is doing. This is what Essence is doing. You have two allegedly black women who are trying to make Billie Holiday's name synonymous with marijuana. This is honoring Billie Holiday's memory. All of these little articles talking about these two using the same cut and paste language. Their shop has an aesthetic reminiscent of the Harlem Renaissance and the jazz scene. They're over there in freaking California. Meanwhile, the real Harlem, where all that stuff was going on, is being gentrified out of existence. One has to wonder if they're going to be doing anything about that or saying anything about that.
No.
Up until now, most of you only associated Billie Holiday with her iconic song, Strange Fruit. But now you have white supremacy using its feminist flunkies to try to associate Billie Holiday's name with drugs, which, by the way, was exactly what the white media did to her when she was alive. Even on the day of her death, that's all they talked about. As Eddie Griffin said, they don't let us get out of the game clean. And just in case black people rehabilitate your image, as we had done with Billie Holiday, just in case black folks rehabilitate your reputation after your death, then they'll go and send in some black bootlick scumbags to sling more slime on you. This is profane what these two are doing. It is satanic and vile, which is why the white media and their bootlick sock puppets are trying so hard to big them up. A pathetic attempt to use black people's history as a way to sanitize and make something valorous out of black people who are losing their minds to drug use, black people who are killing themselves day by day. White supremacy is prosecuting a race war against us, and we're supposed to be fighting back, but in war, you only carry with you what you absolutely need. Now, you can either carry your ammunition to fight white supremacy, or you can carry narcotics so you can get high. You can't do both. I've been telling you for the longest time about the damage that marijuana does to you. You think they're pushing this stuff on black people because they like you? I posted on my Twitter a few weeks ago about cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. It's a condition that leads to repeated severe bouts of vomiting as the result of long-term use of marijuana. I and others have also pointed out to you that marijuana lowers sperm count. It also negatively impacts women's ovulation. Since the days of Margaret Sanger, white supremacy has been trying to find a way to chemically castrate black men and to chemically sterilize black women. How better to do it than to get black people to chemically sterilize themselves?
Oh, man.
Make a culture out of it, a subculture. Make black folks think that it's glamorous. The same MTV that refused to show black musicians on their network when they first started up and who considered rap music to be merely
facts. And you know, we just went along with the program. You know what I mean? Upon looking at this, this was my reaction. I was like, fuck. Right? And you just have to feel stupid. If you don't, you just have to feel stupid. Like, fuck, man. They got me that way, And then you start really looking at facts like, damn, I've been wanting to have a baby. Or, just general facts. Oh, for real, lower your sperm count. You have real reactionary moments like, the fuck you mean? What is this first shit he was talking about? And you're just like, man, it cost you what? Let me look into this. Man. Damn, and you feel immediately like you got you got the hoodwinked. You fell for it. Now you fell for it. Now you've been falling for it for what, like 30-something fucking years that you've been smoking weed and fuck. And you just like, it's got to be better than the other options. And then in reality, none of it is really fucking good. And whatever it did to fucking take away the fucking drama, or just help me calm down. I can't focus or whatever the fucking problem is. It doesn't even matter at this point. This right here, fucked my whole life up, but it changed it in a good way. So I was like, damn, I fell for it. Damn, all this time. Shh. And I had a natural moment. I felt stupider than a motherfucker. Like, for real. Stupid. And I think that's the general consensus of how you're supposed to feel like. And that's what opens your eyes. Because it really is important. You're just like, fuck.
A fad. We're only too eager to put on any rapper who was seen as glamorizing getting high. What, you think they did that to do us any favors? So when I see the white media's black bootlicks trying to.
You can't help feeling like ashamed for some reason about this. That's another thing that I liked about this whole piece. I felt a lot of disturbing inner feelings. Fuck, they got me. I fell for it this whole time. For real, I'm gonna look into that. More shit to research. Ugh. And immediately felt ashamed of myself for allowing this. You know what I mean? And I've been doing it for so long. It's like, God, I can't even redeem myself right now with the not feeling ashamed and dumb. It's like, thank you. Carry on. That's all I did.
Problem fools who telling black people, oh, look at this. We're going to have a marijuana dispensary and it's going to be dressed up. The shop will be dressed up to make it reminiscent of the Harlem Renaissance. This is what the white media has always done. Co-opt black culture and then sell our own culture back to us as if they were the ones who invented it, as if they were the ones who own it. Using nostalgia to bait us into our own destruction. We are a people who are supposed to understand the value of our history. But if someone teaches you a false memory of the past, you have no hope for a future. If somebody indoctrinates you with the idea that smoking weed, getting high, and getting blowed is somehow part of our heritage, then they've served you poison in a candy coating. Just because a group of black people did something, that doesn't mean that it was right. That doesn't mean that it's our heritage or that it's something that we want to continue. It just means that there was some black folks doing. We better start drawing some distinctions, by the way. This is what Byron Allen's The Grio's putting out there. The white media has made a big push in the last 12 months, and especially the last 3 or so months, to promote these bootleg, phony mouthpieces who claim to be media for black people. Dope advocacy belongs in rags like High Times. Look it up. It doesn't belong in the black media. There's nothing glamorous about being a pothead. There's nothing glamorous.
He's not funny. He's telling the fucking truth. You're like, this is the actual fucking truth. I'm not laughing because it's not funny at all. Especially when you come to that realization, like, fuck. He's right. And you have to actually admit that shit to yourself. Like, God, he just pointed out everything I've been doing for like 35 fucking years. God, man. Where was my father? You think? You're like, fuck, man. God. He's like one of those kids that nobody told hey, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck enough to tell you not to do some shit. They're just like, whatever, go outside, bye. And this is the shit that happens when you get older and you're like, fuck, man. He's right. And you immediately feel stupid and ashamed and fuck, give me a solution and here you go.
Glamorous about living your life in a fog. There's nothing beautiful about being intoxicated. And no, you don't look cool while doing it.
Not gonna lie. That's
our people need to be sober, sharp, and alert. We are at war. And if you let these bootlicks convince you that you can go through war being casual, then the only thing you'll become is a casualty. There's a huge difference between history and heritage. And you need to recognize the difference and not let the white media's bootlicks con you into taking on self-destructive behavior and trying to rationalize it as being our heritage. When in reality, it's the dysfunctional part of our history. It needs to be jettisoned and done away with and forgotten. Now, first of all, we need to define terms. What is heritage? The etymological roots of the word heritage come from the French word hériter, which means inherit or to make an heir. So heritage means to inherit. Did our ancestors pass down drug addiction and getting blowed all day as our inheritance?
No.
When they built the Black Wall Streets, were they making it a point to have drug dispensaries too?
No.
Did they want that for their children? Did they want to give that to their children as their inheritance?
Definitely not.
So let's understand that just because something is part of our history, that does not make it a part of our heritage. Everything happens in history. Slavery, the massive dehumanization, the butchery and barbarism, the bedwenching, the buck dancing, all of that happens to be part of history with our people, but that is not our heritage, and you better draw a line. Don't let some scum-sucking, intersectional, zaddy-worshipping bootlick for the white media tell you otherwise. Being drug addicts is not part of our culture. This is bootlicks trying to take the dysfunction and problems that we've had foisted upon us by our oppression and then tell us this is who we are. Being a bedwench is part of history, but that's not part of our heritage. Listen, nobody, I don't give a rip who tries to tell you otherwise, nobody uses drugs to feel good. They use it as a way to anesthetize themselves, either because they're in too much pain to fight white supremacy and they don't see another way to get away from the pain to escape it, or because they've just given up altogether. I told you about the Opium Wars, where the British used opium grown in India and pushed it in massive amounts onto the Chinese. It was the British attempting to soften China up for invasion. The Emperor of China saw what was happening and he put a stop to it. This is the domestic variation on the same theme. You need to understand how insidious this stuff is. This article quotes this Anderson woman as saying, "We have curated a space where women feel safe to explore cannabis products and learn about herbal wellness." First of all, let's expose this safe space crap. That's white feminist dogma. That's the language that you get from these white feminists. And you see these black feminists using that garbage. That's where they got it from, white feminists. And that kind of talk has no place in our community.
Yep.
Where are black men barging into black women's spaces? You go to any hospital or any healthcare facility in this country, and you'll see plenty of black women working behind the desks, and you'll see black men at best who are either orderlies, janitors, or at best nursing assistants. But what you won't see are black men doing or saying anything to make black women feel unsafe, whatever that
Word. That's true, though.
That's supposed to mean. And for these heifers, that definition, safe or unsafe, it seems to be so broad it can mean anything.
Anything at this day and age.
Which is exactly the point. But you know who is making black women less safe? A lot of these white supremacists who they work in these offices with.
Facts.
You got white nurses who call black babies little satans. White doctors and nurses who ignore a black child in medical distress until the child flatlines. Who's creating a safe space for black women against that? Because that's who's actually making unsafe spaces for black women. That's who black women need a safe space from. A safe space indeed. A safe space to do what? Well, so you can get high. Well, a safe space that makes it where you can get high is a place that makes it where your senses are so dulled, you have no idea that you're in danger and you're in no condition to fight against it. That doesn't sound like a safe space at all. It sounds like the opposite of a safe space. I mean, we got some real Orwellian doublespeak going on.
Yeah, there's some real crazy shit going on out there. You know, people are just fucking bad out there right now. And it's really bad out there. People are coming up missing, you know. We've dealt with this. We've discussed it a couple of times on Frontline Black News. It's really true. So when this moment of truth came out, and you know, I appreciate that it came out like this. I appreciate the rawness of it all because it helped me get back into my perspective of certain things. I was like, oh, you're right. Yeah, I keep forgetting. I didn't forget that we're at war. I forget that not going to be at your efficient best at war if you've been smoking weed and, you know what I mean? You're just trying to get through the shit. You're not going to be at your best and you're not going to be alert. And it's always been a common way to take advantage of individuals when they feel like you're at your lowest or you're most vulnerable or you can't, you know, look out for yourself because you drank, you overindulged or whatever the PC terms are, smoke too much or they just think they can or whatever the fuck it is. You know, and that right there was the major eye opener for me because it's like, yeah, you know, I'm like, I suffer from a lot of motherfucking problems. And I know what people have said about whatever situations I've lived in my life. And it don't really bother me. I feel ashamed of it, Honor, for a reason. And I feel like I'm thankful he gave solutions to it and fixing it, you know, or not fixing it, at least stopping it now and fixing it, adjusting it, you know, not doing it anymore. You need to be at your best. Real shit. You really need to be at your best if you're fighting white supremacy. Recognizing when it's happening, you know, stopping it at all accounts. Like, just because they may look like you doesn't mean they're not in fact, practicing supremacist ways. There's a lot of things that are happening out there. It really is it is majorly dysfunctional and confusing. A lot of things are really confusing. You really have to dig deep and research and look into everything, because now if you don't start questioning shit in the last couple of years, if you ever all of a sudden decided to start questioning shit, be extra curious, start being your own little personal detective and figuring it out, you're gonna be lost to the game, man. Just lost. And you're definitely fucking vulnerable for fucking being indoctrinated, drinking the motherfucking Kool-Aid, go along to get along, motherfucking whatever sheep will do type shit, thinking that's the right thing to do. There's certain issues that I'm having that are conflicting. And the only way I'm gonna get through that confliction is more research, more reading. And I'm thankful. And I'm thankful for things like this. Smoking weed has always felt okay to me until I heard this. I was like, God damn it. Why do you have to be so right? But it's facts. We're really at war, and we're really in danger, and shit is really happening, not just subliminally, politically. It's really fucking happening outside, even outside in our own areas. Shit is really critical. Man, it doesn't matter how fucking tight you think you are, you're never really, truly fucking ready. It's good to stay ready. And I feel like, man, in my own personal shit lately, been like, damn, I just been kind of like, whatever, I got this, I just flowed through. And this right here was like, if it didn't add to keep your head on a swivel, use your peripherals and open ears and your eyes, you're actually listening and reading the black and white print and see through the lines of motherfucking messaging that's being programmed on a daily basis, and you don't humble yourself by getting on the right fucking code of conduct, you're fucked. You are fucked. You know what I mean? So I'm thankful, and I'm thankful that when the criticalness of your fuck ups come to light, and then the solutions, because a lot of people are just quick to say, oh look, man, and don't have a solution or don't have a option for you to correct a behavior, especially right now in the early pinnacles of war. It's been really getting crunk in the last year. You can't correct it now, you're really fucked. So I feel thankful for this whole message.
And on here, safe space indeed. Though it sounds a hell of a lot more like a trick bag or a trap. But these black feminists don't care about that. The black feminists have internalized and amplified the monstrous attitude of the white supremacists who they idolize and wish they could be. White supremacists don't care about their survival first. They care about their control of everyone else, specifically black people. That's at the top of their list of priorities. Black feminists don't care about their survival either. They care about being close to white power, because to them, their fever dream delusion of being Olivia Pope or Olivia Newton-John, that's their power. They just never get the chance to have it. And if they could just prove their loyalty to white supremacy, why, one day they're going to wake up and be blonde-haired and blue-eyed. That's what you see with this Beatty woman. This is an aspiring Becky you got here. Why, that blonde hair and blue eyes is so close she can taste it. So whenever you hear one of these black feminists jabbering about safe spaces, that's how you know you've identified an operative for white supremacy. This is more about self-hating Alice Walker, Toni Morrison crap. The black feminists hated being black. They despise their own black skin. They idolize blonde-haired, blue-eyed white women. They want to be white women, and they're furious that it's never going to happen, so they vent their insanity and rage at black men. Now, are these two immigrants or perhaps intersectionalists? Perhaps they're LGBT, I don't know. But it's worth discussing because they're trashing the names of two of our DAS/FBA icons in their attempt to drum up some business for their weed shop. And they're also trying to push the lie that black women are not safe, particularly around black men, because we see the same phraseology used by LGBT activists countless times. And they also use it when talking about black men. Now, I think I should say in passing, I am aware that the same LGBT community who ignored the murder spree of Ed Buck, who murdered at least 2 black gay men and raped who knows how many others, the same LGBT community who has been silent as the grave about Jussie Smollett's trial, these are the same ones who are claiming that Billie Holiday and Josephine Baker were bisexual. And you know, family, we need to stop being so acquiescent on these points whenever somebody brings that up and just go, well, if somebody said it, it must be true. They do this with all black icons. They even tried that with Malcolm X. They had to drop that one, but it was only because they got so much pushback. Problem is, on too many of these others, they're not getting pushback at all. You see, there seems to be no black person who they won't claim was homosexual, or at the very least, they'll say bisexual.
It's going to lead me into my later discussion that's going to be very, very renegade-ish of me about how I think that this whole LGBTQ fucking propaganda is not all, in fact, what it appears of being true fucking gay shit. It's my point. Like, are you serious? You're just going to co-op being a gay and all this other extra shit, putting on dresses and doing all this extra weird shit to get benefits of some sort from the fucking government? Is it really for real? You, oh man, that's even worse. It's even more of a fucking slap in the face, because follow me down the coded highway, family. Like, I've been questioning this shit because it's no secret from my motherfucking I have gay children in my family, right? And of my own children, and I question this hard. Maybe the first one is like, yeah, I knew that shit was popping off from jump. I already knew. I can't do that. We can't even discuss that right now. It's just gonna set me off on a whole new tangent. And the third one, it's like, fuck. Just the only one time you want a little girl, this is what the fuck happens, right? In one sense, you're like, yeah, gotta worry about nobody knocking that up, and I ain't gotta be a grandmama. Because I feel like that little naiveness is able to get that that little white version right there. Is just I gotta talk right to rap. You know? Yeah, that's why I was trying to homeschool her, and I was so mean. Man, however, did it work? Fuck no. And this is what I get. I got a little girl that's not a little girl. She dressed like a little boy. And it's also really ultimately offensive to me, because I have my moments where I'm loked up because I'm going somewhere and it may get dirty. Who knows what could happen? It might just have to be that I have to get dressed for certain fucking occasions. Who knows? But anybody who really knows me knows I'm a girl. I wear dresses and shoes. I dress like a girl. I like being a girl. Girls should wear dresses. I don't even know how to wear pants. I don't even really know how to wear tennis shoes. Not my thing. I'd rather go barefoot and no, let's just pretend that, let's just say I did it just because it amused you type of shit. You have to really force me to get into some pants. I don't even think I own real pants. Maybe one pair. If you ask me, I think I like fitty dresses. I like dresses. It's wintertime. What am I wearing right now? Right now, currently, sweater dress that I would probably throw my pea coat on over just because I fly like that. And I got actual boots that go up my legs. And my long dress covers my boots. I'm a lady. Not a little girl. I'm a lady. I have a tomboy that's gay. And it's a girl. I don't even know who that kid is. Just for her own personality. That's nothing like me. You know what I mean? But the fact that I couldn't get that kid to put on a dress if he wanted to, right? So can you imagine a girly girl, real feminine woman? Fuck what everybody says about me. That's all they really want when they have 2 boys ahead of that. So yeah, they were thinking, oh, finally, let's put this on her. No, it wasn't happening. And then find out that she likes girls. Fuck. Okay, it might be fun and games until you get to be 40, 41, and you're thinking, okay, if Allah allows me, maybe I'll get a grandkid. Maybe. Which one of my children might give me one? And the only reality is the middle one, who actually is straight, has a girlfriend and a job and could possibly produce a child if he wanted to and afford to take care of it. But the little girl, you're the only one your little girl. Nope, that's a wrap. I don't even want to get into the politics on that. That's a whole new tangent. The progeny, my pride and joy, the one I almost died with. Fuck no, and we can't even have a dialogue. I've tried. That guy is on a whole nother tangent, a Republican fucking tangent, and he thinks he's better than me. We can't even discuss it. I'd be in the same house and he ain't even talk to me. That was just a couple weeks ago. And best believe I asked. I even tried a dialogue. I did make a point. But he's in the millennial age, in my opinion only. You can't ask them anything. They're too fucking sensitive and emotional, and everything's offensive. When it wasn't like that. I'm a Generation X kid, and I come from everybody want to know everything. They're fucking extra super nosy to the point where they're like, where you going? What you doing? Who that with? Or, oh yeah? Let me know when you get there. You know, that type of shit. Until you get thrown in the system. It's a whole separate issue. You know, they really want to know. They're really in your business. It's fucking, you don't have no privacy. My own baby brother didn't even have a door on his fucking bedroom. There's no secrets in the house, right? This day and age, if you're lucky to have a conversation, you don't know what's offending them to where they wild out, do the most. Super fucking fragile with their feelings and sensitivities, and God forbid you have questions and you wonder why you can't vibe with them. Somebody said it was okay to not address them in their issues. You know what I mean? And I say it like that because I deal with the mental health shit, and I have these questions because I, want to try to understand what the fuck is going on with my progeny, my older son. You know what I mean? If I only thought there was one, right? Most flamboyant ass shit I ever seen. Okay, the shit I really don't like, the shit I avidly talk about all the time. That type of shit, right? And he don't even give me no warning. So I have genuine reactions when I'm not wearing the looks. You know what I mean? I'm not wearing the glasses. And you can actually see my face, right? I'll have genuine, it'll be just like this, watch. Give me a slate. Okay, my eyes leave. Just that's why I had to look. I'd be like, he wearing fuck me red nail polish. Didn't warn a motherfucker. Didn't nobody send me a message before I came in the door. So I'm a reactionary individual. Fuck it. I can't even apologize for it. I won't even do it. And what did I see? He had his hair wrapped up. Beautiful fucking hair. Like me. Not this, but under this, okay? Beautiful motherfucking hair. Look like me. Probably kind of like his father. Kind of. You know? Like I can see me in it, right? And I'm just like, damn, he could have been a good-looking individual. Stop freaking your motherfucking face, right? This is me thinking about it. And what I see is hair wrapped up. I spent my whole life kind of poor. I don't know name brand shit. Don't judge me for it. I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't know what name brands are, okay? I don't know what the value of it is. It don't even matter to me. I could care less. It's not even important. It might be important to you. Lost on me, okay? He had big motherfucking Jenny from the Block earrings on, right? Gold earrings. I don't even have earrings like that, cuz. I don't have earrings like that. But all right, you should just toss me that on general principle, right? He got long nails like me. Look at that, family. I have long, my own nails, okay? My own shit. Like me. Okay? First, I'm like, I'm kind of used to this situation with my family, with certain individuals. For me, it's not really, I'm not looking at it as a gay thing or trans thing. He's just 2 steps away. Because that's not what I'm looking at. What I'm looking at is the fucking fuck me red Ferrari red motherfucking nail polish. That's what I'm looking at. And he just, just cruising through the house in shorts and a shirt and shit. And like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you're here. You bougie ass little bitch. Like, that's what I'm thinking in my mind. And I shouldn't have to act like that. That's my son. That's what he invited. That's what he is. That's the feeling I get because of the way he behaved with me, right? And the fact that he didn't tell me why. Because I couldn't keep it, so I obviously can't behave myself. And I'm not even apologizing for this. I'm in my family house. I showed up. I didn't even call. If I called, they would have said no. I do what I want, right? I'm grown. That's my son, okay? This is ultra offensive when you're disrespectful. God forbid I do that shit to one of the parents. It'd have been a whole nother fucking event. They'll, excuse me, bow. You know what I mean? Whose house did you walk into? I apologize, I'm sorry. The real shit, okay? No, I had that whole moment right there. And it led to other reactionary moments. But I'm like, I'm sitting there playing dominoes with my father. Normal brandy father thing that we do. Drinking. And I'm enlightening them on the situations that are going on in this world. The whole time, I can't stop but notice my extra flamboyant son. He's like, saying some Rihanna shit, right? I could dig it. I have my own little girly moments when I'm in my vibe. I get it. And I'm like, I can't contain myself. You could say it was the liquor. I'm not even going to apologize. I was like, so son. He said, the attitude was just bitch made. Okay, that's how it goes. Attitude was fucked up. He was like, what? I was like, what's up with the red nail polish, son? Who said that was a good idea? What prompted that? Because I didn't know how to ask him. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't know how to ask him. Because I'm like, who the fuck said this is a good idea? Why the fuck you got your... That's a girl color. And first of all, you shouldn't have that color on your hands. That should be on your feet. You should go light on your hands. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, if you're going to do that, right? But that's what I was thinking in my mind. Because I had a mother that was real feminine. And she was telling me about the whole nail polish shit. But I'm like, you's a boy. Why don't you just go ahead and tell me that this is what we're going to do here shortly? Right? I can expect you to shave the beard off, put your hair in a protective style, and throw on some motherfucking makeup and start, doing what you do best. And forget about being a journalist and all that other shit you want to talk about. Right? That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm thinking to myself. But I didn't know how to ask him. Because he's sensitive. Right? That's how it's sensitive. I didn't know how to ask him. So it's like, well, what prompted this little... what you do this for? Like, because I don't know how to ask him. I'm just like, who said that looked good? Is that what'd you do that for? Someone said I was being a dick. I just didn't know how to ask him. Real shit. I didn't know how to ask him. And I'm thinking, looking at my father, like, the fuck is wrong with you? Like, but I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is wrong with you here? This could have never flown in the time of my era. Oh, hell no. This would, and I used to tell him, don't be doing that shit over here. Pops ain't going to tolerate that. I used to tell him that kind of shit when he was growing up. Be doing that. Just act normal. When you go to college, you live your fucking life. You do whatever the fuck you want. You be who you are. Okay? I didn't think he was going to go all the way over there. And this motherfucker over here advocating for it. What? So I was extra stupidly shocked. And I'm looking at him like, man, what the fuck? What happened to you? Right? That's what I'm thinking. Because I remember how they treated my brother. And he wasn't nothing like that. right? So I remember that it was wrong to even think that way in my household. Okay, so I'm looking at him like, what the fuck is the matter with you? Why the fuck are you doing this? What? And so he, my son, is like, well, grandma said, what? And, I should just try this. And, I thought it would be okay because, I was going to go on this date and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. And I was like, oh, yeah? They don't need to ask the real question with a dude or nothing because we already know, right? And I keep looking at my father like, the fuck is wrong with you? This is not what happened in my household, in my generation. Motherfuckers is catching ass whoopings just for thinking those kind of thoughts. Like, hell nah, you gonna marry a woman. You gonna wear pants. Don't even think about it. You put your ass in the motherfucking dress and go to school. You know what I mean? That don't match. Shit like that. Corrections, right? Like, no, that's that public school shit. No. Go to church, pray on it. So something, man. Fuck no, not here, not in this house. No. Okay. I'm just extra shocked. And I got questions. And I don't know how to ask it because I'm just gonna keep it like me, right? So I'm like, son, how long has this been going on? Like, how long you been doing this this color? Like, you couldn't go any, first of all, you should put that on your feet. But what are you doing? She's like, so is this for a dramatic flair? Like, are you trying to get a reaction? He said, yeah, you gave me one. I said, I don't think you really want the real reaction of what I'm thinking about mine, but the way you did it, you're just trying to mess with me? Just say that. That'd be all right. I respect you more if you just told the truth like that. You're like, nah. I'm at school. I can do what I want. I come home. I'm on the weekends. This is what we doing at my friend's house. Blah, blah, blah. I hang out with the same weird-ass bitches he's been kicking it with since high school, right? The same weird-ass bitches. And I'm like, oh, you still kicking it with them motherfucking weirdos? What? You went to college. I thought you would have, evolved from there. No, apparently not. But because I was like, for real, that's his son. I understand you just experiment, right? Right? This is just an experiment. Nah. I don't know where I'm going to take this with. So what about journalism? It's a new world. Say it ain't so. It's a new world, right? In my mind, I wasn't accepting that. And then it kind of came to, happening right in front of me. And I'm going through this shit like last year, right? This happened last year. And I was like, same motherfucker that dogged me, my same son, right? My little baby, my progeny. Said, because I was too spiritual, too metaphysical. I could divine anything, right? Said the worst shit about me and my divination, right? It's also the same little guy decide he want to be an astrologer. He want to throw the cards and he want to create his own shit. And everything that I did, he's much better at it. I'm like, the audacity, like this, bad words, just bad words for your own progeny, your own seed, right? I got bad words. And I said, son, you could be whatever you want to be. Evidently, it's a new world, right? I was like, but is this really the look you want to go with and the attitude that comes with it? Because from my mind, I'm a real woman, a girl, not what everybody wants to be. An actual girl, real live girl, okay? Not how men portray and pretend to be. That's me saying it. I don't give a fuck. Try all you motherfucking want. I'm an actual girl, okay? So, with that being said, I'm not like, a man in a motherfucking dress pretending to be a girl. Real life girl. My whole 41 years of life. You'll never get to this level. Ever. Try all you want. You'll never get there. But when real life women like me hear this fucked up shit, this is the reaction that come out of my mind. You little bougie ass bitch. Like, what the fuck you think you're talking to like that? That's how I felt. And that was my own child. Right? And I'm like, Dada, this is nothing like me. But in my mind, this is nothing like me. I would never. First of all, I wouldn't be this disrespectful to my parents. I'm capable of a lot of fucking shit. I'll definitely tell them what it is. But to that point, to disrespect them about their career paths or whatever I'm not in agreement with, right? But then have the audacity that when they're not in agreement with me, get an attitude. Hell no, I don't even know what's going on over there. Like, to me, I was like, oh man, come on. What's happened? And what happened was grandparents, they turned into grandparents, and grandparents have to all of a sudden feel like they fucked up with their own children. So now they got to be a whole different individual, more accepting, less questioning, less punishing, right? I grew up in a household of corporal punishment. Like he said, look it up. Corporal punishment. White people say abuse. Other families would be like, shh, you fucked up. You and your brother. Your brother told her you fucked up. You looked at him, whatever. You both in it. You fucked up. So you know what you're gonna do. You know how you're gonna get dealt with. Fuck it, man. Don't wait. Better not get in the way. Up, you saw too much. You were in it, on it too. Just as culpable. You covered up for him. You're just as guilty. And corporal punishment, which is normal. Like in my mind, would have been normal. Nowadays, my children got the change. They got the change. They got the, oh, it's all right. Just let him do what he's gonna do. No discipline, no motherfucking structure, no, hell nah. Take that shit off your face. When you're not in my house, when you get your own shit, that's what I also do. When you have your own house, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Not in my house, right? No, that's only going on. This is a free range acceptance shit. And that's what is happening. So people are saying they're curious and they're exploring and all these motherfucking weird ass, confusing ass terms. I grew up with real gay people. You're either one or two. You're either a lesbian or you're gay. Kind of have these little structures. Lesbians are either butch or feminine. You just couldn't just float the boat on both, right? Men are gay or gay. You know what you like, right? Period. They had little clubs for this type of shit. They still kind of have little clubs for this type of shit. I'm in Denver, right? Growing up in and out of Denver. So I got to see the little clubs here and there because I had uncles and a mama, right? And they were very not really in your face about the shit. If you were lucky, you even knew, right? If you were in the fucking social circle of fucking secrets and fucking they felt comfortable enough to discuss it out loud type shit. If you just knew, whatever. You felt the vibe. Whatever the fuck it was, right? I just did my pops was just talking shit. But I didn't know, right? I didn't know. I could think, well, that shit is mad weird when I see it in my own life and I wild the fuck out and get kicked out of my mama's house. Okay? Because I think that's not okay. Because that's how it's conditioned, right? So now it's a new world. Allegedly. And my thoughts are this, like, is it really, are we just subjected to this motherfucking propaganda? It's always been like this, okay? There's always been some gayness going on here and there and some motherfuckers doing theatrics with their dressing up and the shows and, whatever it takes, right, to make money. Is that what we're going to go with? Okay, fine. We'll just deal with that. That's who you are. Okay, yeah, I could understand. You just want to be a drag. Motherfucking RuPaul and everybody before him made it fucking socially acceptable, whatever the fuck. Everybody wants to be a fucking everybody wants to be a star. I get it. Okay, I get it. This season of motherfucking LGBTQ plus motherfucking exclamation point equal sign fucking whatever else you want to put in there is utterly garbage for the straight individual that has to look at this shit on a day-to-day basis. Call it whatever the fuck you want. Fuck you, I don't give a fuck. It is fucked up. And it's so fucking demanding of attention. It's ridiculous. It's like a call. You just might as well look at this as a cry for help. Okay? Cry for help. You're crying out for attention. That's how I'm looking at it. I don't care. Why am I saying that? Because you don't think anybody knew you were gay and weird before you decided to put on a dress and act like this? Or that you desperately want to be a female and you must act out and everybody must know? You don't think anybody knew that shit beforehand? Like, for real. I'm saying, let me just ask this real question. When you decide to have your coming out moment, did you think nobody was paying attention to the shit when you actually came out? Like, nobody knew before you decided, oh, I gotta be free. I gotta come out. I gotta tell everybody. You don't think nobody was paying attention in your life to know that you were gonna be gay? Or that you was gonna like what you like, right? Or that you had a flair for fucking theatrics and, dressing up, wearing wigs and fucking hiding dresses in your fucking dressers, okay? Sneaking out and dressing up like your homegirls. Nobody know? Really? We're going to go with that lie? Nobody had an idea that this was going to happen in your life? Nobody? Your brothers, mother, father, nobody? Everybody's just blind and you must tell. Real shit. Stop the cap. Bullshit. If I knew about the progeny, my firstborn almost died. Preemie. My first one. The one I was like, oh, she's going to be me and you forever in the east side. The first one. Oh, we're going to get through this. I know we ain't got shit, but man, I'm going to do my best. The first one, right? When he came out and he first started, I'm going to get it ready. Because I have to do what I have to do, right? Putting on makeup and shit, and the motherfucker walking around in my dress shoe, and I tell him to get the fuck out of him. Because he's a boy. And you obviously go get the looks, right? But their father was a very macho ass Mexican dude. So it equally was bad for that shit to happen, right? Macho fucking. I don't even want to get into that part. That was bad, right? But I knew. You don't think nobody else knew? Everybody in their motherfucking mama that saw my kid knew that the vibe was different with that one. We just knew. Did we say anything? A couple casual conversations amongst private friends. Hey, man. I can't do anything about it. That's just who he is. Because that's just what it is. For the legitimate ones. You just know, right? No judging. I just knew. The shit I'm judging is the cry for attention. You ain't gotta be so motherfucking extra. I come from a time where there were no extra shit going on. We knew you had a job. We knew that you like to get dressed up at this specific time. Yeah, you weren't out there rocking motherfucking dresses and wigs and talking in your girl voice on the fucking street, talking about whatever. Walking casually up in the Walgreens. That's just the way you want to live. No. It wasn't that kind of shit going on in my life at that point. You know, it's real kind of, I'm going to say, it looks closeted. Well, motherfuckers just keeping it shit to their motherfucking people that understood them. I could dig it. You know what I mean? It limits this type of bullshit, right? I don't like the cry for attention because now this is how it affects us, right? It's how it affects really more. It's how it affects you guys, everybody, right? Everybody, you guys, I'm going to say more. I don't even know how to word this correctly. Back this track up. Right now, for tangibles, FBA, ADUS, your moment be overclouded with motherfucking theatrics. Cry for attention. Oh my God, everybody's against me. Stop the bullshit, right? That's all fucked up. I can't wait to show you some worship. But this is just what it is, right? It's when he's talking about this shit, you're like, man, anybody kind of had anything new that you can't coin everybody as being bisexual or gay. It's not realistic. It's not the facts. It's not true. It's horrible. And why everybody got coin everything anyway? Y'all had your fucking moment in the sun. Sit it the fuck down. Theatrics, crying for help. Just say you need some fucking attention. That's more respectable than the other shit, because this is like, oh my God. What motherfucker said? What motherfucker said? The bathrooms in your home are, inclusive, but we have to be secluded. Your house bathroom is a trans bathroom. What the fuck are you talking about? If you grow up with motherfucking husband, wife, and brothers and sisters, everybody using the same motherfucking bathroom, it got shit to do with your fucking sexuality that you later develop in life. This is coming out of Black faces. And that is not okay, because that is not true. That is not true. You grow up in a house full of motherfucking siblings, and there's only one bathroom in the house. Fair use. Everybody got to go to the restroom. Everybody needs some time to do what they need to do. What the fuck does that? Fuck does your sexuality as a young child with siblings and a mother or father or both have to do with your sexuality? Make me understand. It don't. It's just attention-seeking cries for help. That's the type of shit that they need help with their shit. You don't got to coin everything. Sit it the fuck down. You got everything you need right now in this Biden administration. And you just got to sit it down. Sit it the fuck down. Don't worry, I'm getting to the buffer classes too. Sit it the fuck down. Real shit. And if y'all don't say it soon, they're going to continue to do this shit. And I really don't think it's all, everybody's genuinely not heterosexual. And they're on that other shit. I'm just going to put it on that other shit because I grew up with the real terms, gay, lesbian, possibly bi. But if you ask the people that, I grew up around, they would say there's no such thing as confusion. You're confused. You know what you like immediately. You know if you like your bitches or dudes. You know there's no such thing. There isn't a gray area. And you like to fucking dress up for fun. And you like to make money and you fucking sing like, oh girl, that's it. You're a fan. Stop it with your fanatic shit. That's what they would say. Maybe I don't know. I'm only 41, almost might live to see 42 at this rate. We're going day by day at this point. But I'm saying, real shit. There's motherfuckers like that. There was no middle confusion. There wasn't, I'm going to be bi today and creep over here and then fuck him because I like dudes secretly too. No. Pick a side, stay on it, and fucking be normal. I understand. It's just weird extra shit. And then you got fucking the audacity to create more of it. Terms that are equally confusing that a motherfucker got to ask for. And then you have the audacity to make motherfuckers say him, her, he, whatever the fuck. When they introduce themselves, I never. Stupid. Hell no. That's a waste of my motherfucking time. You can't tell I'm a real girl? I'm sorry. Maybe I'm not mannish enough for you to, I got to give you a question. I'm a real female. I never. Slap yourself. That's stupid. I'm going to say, hi, my name is Brandy Marie Majors, a.k.a. the Seduction Doll, and I recognize myself as a real live girl. Shut the fuck up, cuz. Hell nah. Anybody goes along with that shit is stupid. No, you can't tell. We got to do that shit for you because you feel like you need the extra terms and titles and fucking dramatic shit. You need to be extra. Clearly, motherfuckers who raised you knew you was weird. You was going to be one or the other. You adding this extra dramatic flair to your shit? Not necessary. Why aren't you on Broadway? Why aren't you doing something with this shit? Instead of fucking up actual movements, making shit about your bullshit, and stepping on the actual motherfuckers that deserve these real life movements, why don't you go do something with that energy you got going on? Right? Because right now, it's not fucking necessary. It's a cry for fucking attention. Cry for help. You know what I mean? That's what it is. You don't want to agree to it? Cool. I don't care. This is not about clout, fame, or fucking fan views. Do you see? I don't give a fuck about that. Real motherfuckers are not going to care about that. You know why they don't care? Because it's not important. What's important is this shit come to a massive halt. Pick this shit up after everybody gets what they need. You already got your shit done. Sit it the fuck down. Hey, everybody get the fuck out the way. You know what I mean? You're welcome, family. Now feel empowered and go ahead and do that shit. Because they're not, they're going to continue to fucking get along with this motherfucking crazy ass motherfucking narratives. I don't care who likes it. Who gives a fuck? I'm grown. I don't give a fuck. I can't care anymore. It's not even worth caring about because it's a cry for help. Help them. Family, help them. Give them what they need. Direct them to the right area. Hey, look, this is about money, obviously. Go put your energy to work, okay? Help them in that direction, but get out the fucking way. Get out the fucking way so y'all can do your thing. Just say that. Get out the fucking way. You had your chance. You got your shit. Biden clearly on that agenda. Everybody clearly on your tip on this agenda. You won that round. Sit it the fuck down. Move out the fucking way. Our time to shine. Just say it. As soon as you say it, sooner it can be fact. Sooner it can proceed. Now we're going to have to continue to watch this motherfucking brave little Broadway fucking dance of magic creatures and shit and fucking Wonderland and fucking mysterious fucking adventures and all of a fucking sudden, you know, we've already wiped out the whole black family unit, but now everything is gay and everything is bisexual and man, you really there are no superheroes anymore. Nothing to really look forward to. Everybody's taking the pipe in the ass. Come on now, fuck that. Somebody get upset. If you don't get upset soon, you're really going to be upset with yourself. Get mad. Now is the time. Get mad. Okay? Get mad. Do something about this. Don't let the shade deflect the message. Real shit. Move out the way. It's other people's time to fucking do what they need to do. Simple as that. Get into this. So I gotta finish this episode because let me see.
Again, just like safe space, that's a phrase which the way they use it is so vague, so broad, it can include anyone at all, which seems to be the entire point. In too many cases, these activists have made it clear that in their minds, everyone is a repressed homosexual. It's just they're too afraid to admit it. It reminds me of how you had that clown, David Johns. He was on the Breakfast Schlubs on the very notable, famous broadcast where Malik Yoba announced that he was stepping up. But you'll recall that David Johns, among his many blatherings and brain farts, he dropped this particular pearl of wisdom.
Right? Why do we ask boys to go in one bathroom and girls to go in another publicly when y'all bathrooms at homes are inclusive bathrooms? They are trans bathrooms.
Everything is LGBT. And you better be very careful when you let people get away with saying stuff like that. Keep in mind, that kind of talking point draws from the exact same well as the lie that, well, we're all a little bit racist. Everyone's a little bit racist. Everybody does it. You're already engaging in racist behavior. You do it all the time. You just don't call it that. The only people who that line of rhetoric benefits are the racists. And that's who this David Johns draws from the well of. That's a line of reasoning that he employs here. Everyone wants to appropriate our history because ours is a unique history of an oppressed people who came to define the culture of the society that oppressed them. And that culture has been so dynamic, so unique, so powerful, that it's become the envy of the rest of the human race. So, of course, people who had nothing to do with our history and heritage would want to find a way to lay claim to it, even if they have to lie. But my point is that these two, with their blatantly man-hating language, made it clear what they're about. This is not merely a slap in the face of the Black community. This is not merely desecrating our icons as part of the continuing effort to try to rewire and try to mangle and mutilate our heritage and our history. While it is true that Billie Holiday may have used narcotics, it's also true that that was only a small part of what she did. It was her at her lowest. We celebrate and revere her at her best. We talk about the other 99% of what she was and what she did. For somebody to call themselves naming a pot shop after Billie Holiday, that is to emphasize one part of her life, the lowest part of her life, at the expense of everything else about her. You're ignoring Billie Holiday. You are denigrating her. You don't honor her by doing that. You don't honor Josephine Baker by doing that either. And this is what Byron Allen and the rest of the Black bootlick media props up. The Black media has been documenting for the longest time that whenever you've seen states like Colorado and others legalize marijuana, for some dang reason, Black folks still keep getting hemmed up over it, still keep getting arrested over it, and still get sent to jail over it. Yep. They just do it under different pretenses. And as far as the sale of marijuana goes, oh, they got no problem with that, as long as it's white supremacy selling the marijuana to Black people. We should have a rule about these kind of things. You notice that I am not sitting here telling you, oh, you shouldn't own a marijuana dispensary. I'm fine with Black people owning a marijuana dispensary. I am not fine, however, with Black people using the product. And I'm also not fine with having a bunch of white money propped up bootlick operatives, interlopers coming into our community and attempting to co-opt our history and our icons as nothing more than a gateway drug to feminism, intersectionalism, and asinine alliances that do not work. I'm fine with Black people owning weed dispensaries. I'm fine with it. In fact, we should do what this white supremacist society has done to us. Make sure that you set up the dispensary as close to the schools as possible. Make sure that they're on the white side of town. You want it to be within easy reach of all those residents. Make sure that they have access to it. Because if it's okay to have a liquor store on every corner in the Black neighborhoods, especially liquor stores that Black people do not own, who put nothing into the community but take money out of it, while breeding all sorts of otherwise undesirable behavior and elements in the area, well, in that case, then you shouldn't have a problem when it happens in other people's neighborhoods. But somehow I think that having Black people owning marijuana dispensaries in predominantly white areas will be greeted the same way as Black people who own a restaurant in a predominantly white area or in an area where the white supremacists think they've got sway with the local governmental authorities. This video address happens to be about marijuana and at the same time is not about marijuana at all. The same way that this putrid little defecating on our icons has nothing to do with Josephine Baker and nothing to do with Billie Holiday. And it has everything to do with the continued onslaught against the things that are precious to us, the nonstop effort to redefine it and mangle it and twist it and pervert it until it says what white supremacy wants it to say. As Malcolm said, every time you break that seal on a liquor bottle, that's a government seal you're breaking, and he's absolutely right. Because if they didn't want you to have it, you wouldn't. Don't believe me? Just out of curiosity, how much money you got in your pocket? Yeah, there's trillions of dollars floating around, but for some damn reason, these white supremacists are excellent at making sure you don't get any. When's the last time or any time that the white media or their Black bootlicks have made it a point to prop up somebody who's talking about this empowerment stuff, things that's going to put you in the driver's seat? Oh, if weed dispensaries are so great, then how the hell is it that these guys are not doing nonstop, around-the-clock coverage, asking why is it that you got these members of government stopping Black people from getting into the game then? Why is it that they're not making that their focus? Oh, yeah, they'll talk about somebody who gets a weed shop for the sake of glamorizing it to you, but they don't talk about it in terms of the economy. They don't talk about it in terms of Black people realizing the income. It's always dressed up in, oh, look how nice it is. They've got a weed shop that's themed like a Harlem Renaissance speakeasy. Well, that's not who we are, and that's not what we're about. You wouldn't be able to blow a puff of weed smoke thick enough to make it where we couldn't see through this white supremacist strategy. And on a final note about this story, yes, I'm sure you've noticed all over it that he got Jay-Z's name on there. Apparently, he's associated with the parent company as their chief visionary officer.
Whoa.
Whatever the hell that means. But the thing is, Jay-Z's lending out his name to a number of entities. But the one thing that you're not seeing him doing is leading the charge to put consequences on people who try to get in the way of black folks having our piece of this economy. Because that's what matters. If you're not talking about putting serious consequences on the practitioners of white supremacy when they keep abusing and misusing these governmental offices to either block us from being able to start businesses or to persecute us out of business whenever we do, then you're not talking about anything. But Jay-Z is the chief visionary officer for this parent company, whatever the heck this is. Their website does list their board, but it doesn't show pictures of them. I had to go elsewhere to get the pictures. But it was interesting who is among their board of directors. Carol Bartz, former president of Yahoo. They've got one black person on the board. George Foreman's son, apparently, is who this guy is. And they've also got a Hispanic woman who had something to do with Rock Nation, I suppose. I think that's particularly amusing in a macabre, perverse kind of way. Because back in the 90s, you'll recall there were a lot of these up-and-coming rappers, especially Jay-Z, who every time you looked up, they had all of these Hispanic women with them. Puff Daddy running around with Jennifer Lopez, Jay-Z running around with Gloria Velez. Oh, yeah, it seemed like if you had some up-and-coming black rapper, here he was with a Hispanic woman on his arm. Some people tried to laugh that off, but it stopped being funny when you saw companies like BET, who made it very clear they wanted Hispanic women to be the receptionists and basically the female faces of the company. So you've got these two black women here naming their little pot shop after two black female icons. And yet you look at the board of directors of this company, there's no black women represented there at all.
Whoa.
And the closest to representation you've got on that board at all is one of George Foreman's sons and some woman who had something to do with Jay-Z's company. Jay-Z must be proud. Apparently, he and Rihanna became investors along with some other folk who are of very little consequence. But I'm willing to bet that Jay-Z will represent black people's interests at the parent company about as well as he did at that other white company he was associated with, the NFL. And if you think that all this is going to be of any benefit to black people whatsoever, then I got to ask you, what the hell are you smoking? Black media only exists because of you. If you appreciate the kind of uncompromising commentary and insight.
Yeah, let's shout out to Professor Black Truth, man. Very Houston, thank you. That was quality enlightenment. And I'm gonna lie, a real eye-opener for me. Had to change my whole lifestyle. I made a whole resolution. So I decided I would do my best. Do my best. Because, yeah, it's like, facts. Yeah, I'm just going to do my best. And make an actual official effort to go out of my way to do my best. Yeah, it put me right back on track. I didn't right in there. Thank you. You know what I mean? Quality material right there. And I was like, yeah, man, this is the time when you need the motherfucker fatherly advice right there. Like, yeah, you're fucking up, man. And this is how you fix it. And showing case in point, why it's bad. Okay, moving along. Okay. Let's get into the San Francisco mayor. Okay, this is today. Actually, I saw it today. It comes from Forbes. Breaking news. Yeah, Forbes breaking news. Wait, let me take that. Let me make sure I'm saying the right. Just make sure I got it right before I even get into it, because it is hilarious. I was just clowning around anyway, but God, man, I had to get it out of my system. It was just like, oh, what is this? What is this people doing? 1 second. Where am I at? Excuse me. 1 second, family. I can't see right now, so I'm just like, everything's like blown up. So just give me one brief minute. And just like get over here to my history so I had it pulled up and I'm moving around and looking at things because I was all over the place today with catching up on the things I had missed. Yeah, here we go. I take that back. Yep, no, I was right. The title of this, let me just get to it. I want to get past the commercials because I know that's annoying to you guys, but shit's expensive nowadays. I don't have it like that. I miss the days when I was really doing the most to fucking live and money wasn't really that bad. I'm trying to change my life. It's been hard. Really hard. Very hard, actually. To not sell drugs or anything else. It's been very difficult. I would say it's worth it. It's debatable, I guess you could say. Some people find fulfillment. I don't know. I had never had good luck being normal, so I'm trying it out this time. I gotta say, at least this time I gave it a real serious. We're looking at 11-month effort of actual change. It is quite serious for me. Kind of made a little commitment to it. I have to see it through till Allah calls me home. I gotta kind of see it through. I gotta give myself that. Just because people suck, man. Everybody wants to see you fail. When they got that hater shit going on and they don't want to see you, do anything of actual substance. Once you continue to be, trapped and dysfunctional, they enjoy that. They will enjoy watching you fail. You wouldn't think so. You're like, oh no, that's not true. Oh, it's fucking true. People actually enjoy watching you fail, and however they can help you in that dysfunction, they're down with the get down on it. I don't understand it either, but that is the way of the world. That is how I've seen it lately. This generational haterism shit going on, and just do not want to see you win, no matter what you do to change and do at least of things of service. Just to be a person of doing actual real life, being a regular citizen in the actual city you live in, of service, being useful, not being a degenerate, not being out there, not just reckless and shit. And not want to see you, not want to see the change of you. They want to keep you fucking in a state of mind that they love watching you in, struggling in and out of jail, in and out of whatever, not stable. They love to see that. So when you start to stabilize and you start to get some fucking sense about yourself, build yourself a proper foundation, and so you got to start off at scratch because you don't have those things weren't easily available to you for whatever fucking reasons of you just people do not want to see you have that, so they do everything, anything to discourage you, shame you, embarrass you, humiliate you, tell on you, fuck with your emotions, stress you the fuck out. Anything to keep that shit show going, because you succeeding, educating yourself, fighting the bullshit, building an actual life that has the right things that a person actually needs, like structure, foundation, learning how to budget money, learning how to take care of yourself as a realistic adult, learning how to pay bills, learning how not to fuck off your money, how not to get wrapped up in vices and stupidity of other people, just stop doing all this other legal nefarious shit and actually sit down and try to be like every other person in this society of a city you can't live in, actually try to stabilize, because now you have that chance. You can seriously be focused about it. Hell no, they'll do anything to keep you in that cycle of fucked up shit, just so you don't better yourself and you don't learn to think for yourself, and you can stop depending on motherfucking terms of white supremacy, and you're all of a sudden not their bitch and they can't handle it because you decided that, oh, I'm awake now. This obviously has been 40 some years of help me. All right, fuck you. You don't want to help me? All right, watch me do it. I'm gonna do it regardless of what you say. I'm gonna do it. They don't want to see that, so they'll anything to discredit it and keep you as a motherfucking criminal and a degenerate, whatever they can do to sell that shit. Go for it. That's what they do. That's what the city does. Some motherfuckers that don't understand you do. Some motherfuckers that are just genuinely don't want to see you win do. That's what sometimes your own motherfucking people will do. Your friends, everything is all suspect now once you wake up, reassess it, program it, re-educate, you got your blinders off. You're like, sorry, fucking villains are afoot. It's a real life fucking game of your life. It really is fucked up. You can't let them win. And by the time you recognize it, shit, the game has been playing for a long time and you're just barely figuring it out. You're like, fuck, man, now it's getting fucking interesting. And right when I have the time to really get serious with it, get real savage with it now because I'm fully awake and alert, you gotta have something fucked up like a bad ticker. The heart. You're like, ugh. Why? Alright, whatever. Can't argue with Allah. Fucking can't argue with that shit. You really can't. You're just like, fuck. Just right when it's starting to get interesting. There goes the curveball. Alright, this is called San Francisco Mayor. It says time to be less tolerant of all the bullshit that has destroyed our city. The 14th, but I just seen it today, so I wanted to talk about it a little bit. How we're going to talk about it on Frontline Black News, a whole different realm of how we're going to talk about this. I'm going to do some clowning and talking shit right there, though, for a little bit. This was crazy to me. Just utterly crazy, you know, and the solutions, and oh my God, this is just horrible. But this shit, we're going to talk about this for a minute. So let's follow me down this crazy coded highway that we're on. I'm going to share this. It comes from Forbes. Fair use, YouTube. It's for educational purposes of definitely some criticisms and shit talking on my end. There we go. Let's see. Sharing. Okay. And go.
Homelessness and supportive service.
Back. I have to track up. Okay.
London Breed, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today to talk about public safety on a whole nother level in light of the challenges that our city continues to face. You know, this has been a problem.
People are getting married
that
and shit.
Has persisted in this city for some time now. And the fact is, things have gotten worse over time. And I want to take a moment to appreciate our public safety officials that are joining us here today, some of whom you will hear from in a short moment. But thank you to our police chief, Bill Scott, for being here, our fire chief, Janine Nicholson.
I like the low vibrational
Sheriff,
confidence
Paul
in this
Miyamoto, our director of the Department of Public Health, Dr. Grant Colfax, Director of Emergency Management, Mary Ellen Carroll, and the Director of Homelessness and Supportive Services, Shireen McSpadden, as well as members of the Board of Supervisors who are joining us here today, Supervisor Catherine Stephanie and Supervisor Asha Safai.
Look, there's a wedding going
on. For me, Dropbox is a seamless way of ensuring that I have access to documents across
brief interlude. Here we go.
I'm here
to discuss, as I said,
I was
public
really
safety in
watching
the
the
city.
first time I saw it. I was really looking at that
In
shit.
recent months, we've not only seen a number of high-profile incidents of brazen robberies and car break-ins, but also street behavior and criminal
Brazen car robberies and break-ins. That's what they're starting off with. Property.
activity, especially in the Tenderloin, that has become far too normal and cannot continue to be tolerated. All of our residents, our workers, and everyone who visits.
I ain't gonna lie, the Tenderloin is from the research I've been doing because I'm in Colorado. It's definitely cracking off down there. Definitely cracking off down there. That's in just one area. It's everywhere. Okay. But it was definitely cracking off. So I'm not even gonna lie about that. I'm like, from what I've researched, I'm living in Colorado. And damn, the Tenderloin getting it in over there. It's fucked up.
This is our city. Should feel safe no matter what part of town they're in.
I'm celebrating
And
the family thing.
I know that San Francisco is a compassionate city. We are a city that prides ourselves on second chances and rehabilitation. But we're not a city where
I wish Shabaka was on the phone right now about San Francisco. I'm not even gonna get into San Francisco. I can't wait till we talk about it with Shabaka, because Shabaka will give it to you. Very serious about San Francisco.
Anything goes. Our compassion should not be mistaken for weakness or indifference. Today, we're announcing a series of public safety initiatives to create a city that is safe and turns the tide on what we have recently seen in San Francisco. And to be clear, what I'm proposing today and what I will be proposing in the future will make a lot of people uncomfortable. And I don't care. At the end of the day, the safety of the people of San Francisco is the most important thing to me. And
I'm like, what happened in her day-to-day life that she got so passionate about? Who broke into this broad's car? Who does something to this broad, right? Because first of all, I didn't even know this broad existed. I didn't know she was the mayor of this San Francisco they're talking about. God, I can't wait till Chewbacca pops on. I'm like, that's how irrelevant this lady is to me, right? And I'm like, God, man, the amount of bullshit she's talking right here.
we are
thank you. The Black Authority. Thank you in advance. I'm just saying, thank you in advance. Get into that later.
Past the point where what we see is even remotely acceptable. The first of these initiatives is the Tenderloin Emergency Plan, which is already underway. During COVID, we showed what this city can do when we unify our efforts and we work together collaboratively. Through our emergency action, we protected the health of the city, and San Francisco was a national model for addressing COVID. We saved lives. And let me say this, the Tenderloin needs an emergency response, period. I spent a lot of time going to the Tenderloin and seeing what's happening there. During the pandemic, when there were tents everywhere, we intervened, we made a significant difference. But now what I see is far, far worse. While there are still issues of needing to get people off the streets and into housing, and there are also very important, urgent safety issues. Last week, I met with a group of families from the Tenderloin. Hearing their stories were hard. Hearing their stories were heartbreaking. Just imagine if you had to walk your kids down the streets of the Tenderloin every single day.
This is what she's talking about.
With people shooting up selling drugs. And because the sidewalks were so packed with people, you had to walk out onto the street in incoming traffic on a regular basis. You got these brand new playgrounds where you don't even feel comfortable walking your kids to play in them because of everything that they see around them, where you don't feel safe. The PTSD,
I really wish I
challenges,
could find one with no talking.
the cramped conditions,
Hold on a second.
the nasty streets. And when I say nasty, full of feces and urine, that Department of Public Works is cleaning every single day, but it comes back just a few hours later.
A friend and I were out there for an event, and then we took an Uber.
They got commercials. God, man, it's like too much shit. Run yourself, damn YouTube. I'm just kidding. I'm playing.
Last week because it drove home during that meeting, the point clearly that we can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And every day we let things linger. Our residents are suffering, and we need to be different, to act with urgency, and to be aggressive in countering these problems. And this is why I've directed Mayoral and Carol, the Director of Emergency Management, to lead our multi-agency coordination on this effort, bringing the coordination and urgent responses that we brought to COVID this year. In essence, a COVID command that will be a public safety command that will be specifically targeted at the Tenderloin community. And I'm gonna have Mayoral and Carol walk through the details of what this means. Our priorities are focused on issues of drug dealing, violent crime, public drug use, safe passage and accessibility for the people who live and work there, neighborhood cleanliness, housing resources, emergency medical calls, and we will be tackling illegal vending. In the short term, that means taking immediate and necessary action like fixing the lights, adding additional lighting in very dark areas, dealing with broken trash cans and trash all over the neighborhood. But it also means coordinating with the police and the sheriff's office on felony warrant sweeps, which have led to the arrest of 23 individuals so far with outstanding warrants. These are some of the people who have been holding this neighborhood hostage, and our criminal justice system has a responsibility to hold them accountable. When the police make an arrest, the residents of the Tenderloin should not see that same person back on the streets.
Let's back this track up, okay?
Walk your kids.
Let me show this real fast before we get into that. I'm just gonna start saying jail is the options. This is what they gonna do. Jail. That's how they solve everything. Jail. It's all oh god, here we get into it. Let me hold up. Where are my hands, okay, people? Sorry. Not a proper seduction doll video if I'm not fucking it up somehow. Here we go. I'm working with it. I guess we could listen to this audio. Guess you have a point, family. Guess you have a point. Tenderloin. This is not funny at all, but it's kind of funny to me for a whole bunch of different reasons. Okay, here we go. Let's do a simple walkthrough. You know, sharing his experience. Try to find one that had no talking, because the first video I initially seen, because it's ultra sarcastic. This is what they talking about. That's not on my end. I didn't throw that music on. I just decided to listen to some music while I cruise through the hood. Let me see. guys can see it. Hold on a second. Hope you can see it because it is. Hopefully, it's got to get spicy. Sorry. All right, go. I don't know why I shut off on the audio. That's not me. That's them. That's their shit. Which is really strange. It's like they don't, they kind of want you to show it. They don't want you to show it. Maybe YouTube banned it. Who knows? I feel like he just walked around the same fucking block. Well, this is what this lady's talking about, the tenderloin, right? This kind of look like what's going on in everybody's city now, right? Let's not forget that I said it was gonna happen like this. Like, right? This is everybody's city. This is real mad familiar for me. You know what I mean? So this is like every day when I go outside. This is like everybody's city. Everybody has big city should look like this because that's what's happening now. A lot of just kicking it, huh? Wait, here we go. For the juicy episode. Hold on. Bear with me, family. I got a heart condition. Bear with me. That's what they're talking about. This is what they're talking about right here. It's a whole bunch of, city behavior. Now, let's play this again. That's what they're talking about. That looks like everybody's city nowadays. Just saying, I'm just pointing that out because I did say this a long time ago that this is going to happen. This has already been happening. And then when the COVID thing and the rent shit happened, I mean, it's a whole bunch of contributing factors.
Down the streets of the Tenderloin every single day with people shooting up, selling drugs. And because the sidewalks were so packed with people, you had to walk out onto the street in incoming traffic on a regular basis. You got these brand new playgrounds where you don't even feel comfortable walking your kids to play in them because of everything that they see around them, where you don't feel safe. The PTSD, the challenges, the cramped conditions, the nasty streets. And when I say nasty, full of feces and urine that Department of Public Works is cleaning every single day, but it comes back just a few hours later.
I'm only laughing because
last week because it drove home during that meeting, the point clearly that we can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And every day we let things linger. Our residents are suffering, and we need to be different, to act with urgency, and to be aggressive in countering these problems. And this is why I've directed Mayoral and Carol, the Director of Emergency Management, to lead our multi-agency coordination on this effort, bringing the coordination and urgent responses that we brought to COVID this year. In essence, a COVID command that will be a public safety command that will be specifically targeted at the Tenderloin community. And I'm gonna have Mayoral and Carol walk through the details of what this means. Our priorities are focused on issues of drug dealing, violent crime, public drug use, safe passage and accessibility for the people who live and work there, neighborhood cleanliness, housing resources, emergency medical calls, and we will be tackling illegal vending.
Oh man.
In the short term, that means taking immediate and necessary action like fixing the lights, adding additional lighting in very dark areas, dealing with broken trash cans and trash all over the neighborhood. But it also means coordinating with the police and the sheriff's office on felony warrant sweeps, which have led to the arrest of 23 individuals so far with outstanding warrants. These are some of the people who have been holding this neighborhood hostage, and our criminal justice system has a responsibility to hold them accountable. When the police make an arrest, the residents of the Tenderloin should not see that same person back on the streets the next day dealing drugs right in front of their neighborhood. The next stage of this plan will roll out next month and continue for at least 2 months after that. The second stage will continue the progress made earlier on the law enforcement, but also focus on interventions and connections of services to people facing addiction and other challenges. But to be clear, we are not giving people choice anymore. I gotta wrap this shit up. We are not going to just walk by and let someone use in broad daylight on the streets and not give them a choice between going to the location we have identified them or going to jail. This will involve social workers, outreach.
Like I said, it's always got to be somebody. Anyway, I'll be right back. I'm gonna end this out right here, and I'm just gonna jump on this other thing because when I can't control something on my end and just do my thing, it really is fucking my whole world up, especially when I'm about to get into some serious shit. And I can't even get into the serious shit because I'm on a time schedule. People, seriously. Anyway, I was laughing about it though was because California was really making some headway with this unhoused neighbor plans and things that they were really doing. Task force, I really want to know what happened with that. Now it caused me to wonder. But unless everybody's answer is this next shit. So I'm going to carry on with episode 21 on my shit. Just give me a second. So I can't just never just do what I want to do. See? You'll see. Anyway, I'm going to cut this off right here. And thank you for watching the RVA, those who have watched it or will watch it later. Part 2 of 21. It will start here genuinely in like 4 or 5 minutes. So let me just cut this out. I'm going to stop this. And I don't have any closing thoughts. I'll be right back. Just give me a second.